Hey mates, welcome to Fighnimates. I'm here with a review and I'm really excited to review this product because I've been using it for a quite a while and I really love it, and I love using it in most of my drawings and paintings, and it's really a product that brought a new depth to my workflow and my paintings, and really I have to share this with you guys. And what I'm talking about is the texture packs by Jason Brubaker. If you don't know Jason Brubaker, check him out. Google him. I'll link his YouTube channel and everything in the description below. He's a comic book artist who worked for DreamWorks, and he's my favorite comic book artist because the way he makes comics and how his comics, like how they look and how they read, it's really original, and I can bet you won't find anything that is similar to it. So he's really my inspiration to make comics as unique as possible, and I really think that stands out because right now we have the manga, we have the Marvel and DC, and most of those comics are really standard and they follow a same flow. And with this guy, it's crazy and it's really exciting what he delivers every time. It's mind-blowing. So I'm going to review one of his product in a kind of way to tribute him because he's awesome. And the product I'm talking about is his texture pack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys where you can get the texture pack. It's on his Gumroad. I'll leave a link in the description, and how I use the texture packs in my paintings and drawings, and what kind of changes it brings, so that you guys can experiment with them and use them in your drawings. So first things first, where can you get these amazing texture packs? Like, wow. Let's go to the website. I'm going to make myself tiny again. Tiny Russell. Tiny Russell. So okay, we're on the Instagram. Let's go to Gumroad and Jason Brubaker. There we have it. I'm a fan. I'm his number one client. I don't think I'm his number one client. I just like saying that. So yeah, he even has a texture mega pack, so you can get all his texture packs, which is like 3 of them for $20, and I think they sell for $10 each, so that's a $10 discount you get. And I own, I think almost, or this one is pretty new, but yeah, I own most of the texture packs, and go buy them. Don't try to get them on another freeway. Just pay the $10, and trust me, it will be worth it because you will think that it's a gift from God using this in your painting. So I'm going to show you guys with how these gouache paint textures by Jason Brubaker, how I use them in my painting. So let's go to Photoshop. So one of my personal favorite paintings is this one, and Daydreamer. And I really have to admit, the way it looks wouldn't be this way without the textures blended in it. And I'm going to break down the layers. So if you look there, I'm going to pull away some overpaint layers, and then we come to this part. So this part is really exciting. This is where the texture makes a difference. So let's see. Without texture, with texture, without texture, with texture. And it's really simple how I do it. I go to overlay, and yeah, just go to layer settings, and this is how it looks normal. And this is how it looks with a overlay adjustment. Bam. And you can even use clipping mask if you have a solid drawing below it, and you can even go to image adjustment and mess with the hue and saturation. So yeah, I like how it is, and do some overpaint on it, and yeah, you got it. And the textures really brought it out, and really this is one of my favorite paintings, and the use of the textures in this painting. Okay, let's grab another one. This one, Arbal, Sword of Both Sides concept painting, wouldn't look like this without the blending of the textures. So I'm going to show you. Let's see, break down the layers. So I'm removing overpaint, and then we come to the texture layer, that's this one, and if I remove it, let's zoom in a bit. Like you can see the textures, it's really kind of a cheat, or it's not a cheat, it's really, I believe that artists should use whatever they can to get the result they desire. Really, if you have a client and you're doing client work, the client really won't care how you get your results, as long as you get your results. So maybe some of you will be like, yeah, using textures in your painting is cheating, but it's not cheating, because when you're doing digital art, you have a lot of resources. It's a whole nother world you're stepping into, and if you don't know how to really make use of that world and everything it has to offer, you're playing a losing game, because other artists will use this method and you'll work twice as hard to keep up. So when you're doing digital art, work hard but also work smart. Know that you can achieve the same effect with a few steps less. So it's really a mind game. So the textures is really that thing that can maybe bring your art to the next level by using it, and that's really what it did with me. So I'm just sharing my technique. So again, I just went to the adjustment layer and brought it from normal to overlay. Really, overlay, hard light, soft light, those are the layer settings you really need with the textures. And of course you can go to the adjustment with image and hue and saturation, and of course here mess with the light and darkness, but I like how it is. And then I did some overpainting and we have a finished piece. So I'm going to show you two more examples of how I use the textures. This is also one of my personal favorite paintings. It's called Pad 2, and also the textures really brought it to the next level, and I'm going to show you how. So here we have a overpaint layer. If I turn it off, and I actually use two textures in this painting. So really I like taking the textures and mixing them and inverting them, doing whatever just to get new designs. So don't be afraid that that when you buy the textures and you've used one in every drawing, that you'll run out and they'll all look the same, because trust me, they won't. You can make so many combinations, so really do that. And if I take away the textures, this one is for below. It's a, like here you can see the textures can also add a really slight change, like not a lot, but it's a change that you'll need. And then we have the other textures for above, so there you can see. And then I did my overpainting, and again the layer are set to overlay. It's really the most common layer setting you'll need with the textures, and it's like I'm really fanboying or fangirling over these textures, but I really love them. When I'm working on a painting and I come to the final stage where I'm like, oh yeah, I get to use the textures, it's really something I'm looking forward to, because you never know what it will bring. I also have paintings where I think using textures will push it over the edge, so I don't use them. So it's not something I do with every one of my paintings or drawings, but it's something I'm trying to do, or I try to do with everything, because they make them look so much better. And he even made a video about making your own textures, and I'll try to link that in the link below. So it's not that you have to buy his textures to use them in your paintings. You can really make your own. Just buy some gouache, some brushes, go wild on a canvas board and make a high resolution picture or scan it in, and you can easily import your textures to Photoshop or Clip Studio Paint or whatever program you use, and there you have it. But really, he already made them and I love the texture, so I bought it, and it's supporting one of my favorite artists. That's how I see it, so no harm done. And here I wanted to show you guys, I also used textures for the faces, but I used different kind of textures. But for the backgrounds of these two characters, let's turn everything out. Let's take away the text and let's take away the drawing. So we have the background here. Let's focus on this background. So Without the textures, the background is really, it's just flat, one color with a gradient overlay. Like you can see, I did some effects to erase it kind of there with special brushes. And the texture is really simple. You import it, you put them, and setting, of course, it's overlay. There you have it, and you have a really easy, it's like a 1 or 2 minute work, and you have a drawing that really stands out because the background isn't like flat, it has something special to it. So that are my examples on how I use the textures in these paintings and drawings. They're made by Jason Brubaker. Let me know if you already heard of him, if you are familiar with his work. If not, check in the description. I'll try to link as much of his information as possible. And yeah, I think it's important to share your inspirations, and I think Jason Brubaker, he's really, of course, a lot of people know him, but he could use more, yeah, fame, because that dude really deserves it, and his texture packs are amazing. I feel like I'm linking a lot in the description, but there's a lot to link in the description. That was my review of the texture pack. Let me grab the folder and I can show you guys how it actually, how you'll get it when if you buy the texture. I have all my textures here. Let's make them big. So, and let's move my head to, so I have most of my textures here, and this is one of them that I bought. So, oops, WinRAR. No, I don't want a subscription. Nobody buys a subscription to WinRAR. So yeah, you get them here, and they're really high resolution pictures that you can easily import. And don't worry about the white, you can easily use the magic wand and remove it. And what I like to do is I like to sort my textures in folders. This is the texture pack, and here you can see all the 10 textures you'll get and how my favorite is the first one, and then the third one, and I think the fourth one or the fifth. Those three are my favorite to use. I like the first one. It's really a universal texture because it has a lot to it, so I can use it for a lot of paintings. This is me sharing another art tip and reviewing Jason Brubaker's texture packs. If you're interested in trying it out or using it in your paintings, drawings, whatever, check the link in the description to Gumroad and go get your own copy. Let me know what you thought of this review. I'm going to try to review a few more things, smaller things, not popular reviews, but more products of smaller artists, like brush packs, reference packs, stuff like that. So link in the description what items I should review more, and I'll check them out, maybe buy them, so that I can review them and you guys have some insight. Yeah, that was everything. Check out Jason Brubaker. All of the information of the entire world can be found in the description of this video. That is a joke, but the most important things, check the description. And that has been it, guys. Don't forget to stay awesome. Peace.